All right, so here we are for league number 3. We're gonna join with this list that you see right here. I made some changes for the one that I just played with, and we're going to try again. Let's see if we can do a little bit better than the previous one. And yeah, if you haven't checked it out and would like to see those previous videos, you can go down to the links in the description below and you can check them out. In the meantime, I'm going to be enjoying this tuna wrap, tuna salad wrap. Good stuff. We're greedy with this opener. I think this is a keep. It would be better with a bounce land or a castle or something like that, but it's still reasonable. Also, I just updated Stream Decker. Let me update. All right, we're good. Carbon Live also updated, and we're good to go. So we're going to start with Once Upon a Time, see what we find. All right, so we're going to get a castle here. We're going to start with Amulet first. See where to go from here. By the way, Scud would be significantly better in this matchup, in this hand, obviously, but of course, you know, wow, we already got wrecked so many times by my decisions in deck building that I just don't even know anymore. So, well, I can't even Titan anymore, so I guess I'm just gonna play this dude out and like kind of whatever. Because of explosives, having a colorless landing play seems important, so I'm gonna do that. I like the way I grace. I don't. Classic Tron opener. We're gonna top deck a Titan. Our opponent's gonna go get a thing and it's gonna TKS us. And it's gonna suck. Alright, so if we draw a natural prime time, we are gonna be good to go. So much gracious grazing happening right now. Ha. Gracious. For gracer, you know. Gracious grazing. Alright, is my opponent gonna time walk themselves? Is that what's going on here? They're real afraid. All right. Sexy and irrelevant. Feels bad, man. All right. Opponent's putting together Tron. Huh. Transmute. Exposes for 0. Blow it up. We get wrecked by Karn, though. I think I just don't play the T-West. It's gonna suck if we get dismembered, but... No Grixis damage for shame. So now I'm missing a Titan, I repeat, I'm missing a Titan. It is. Yes, but if I do that and my opponent taps and plays a card, the Great Creator, then I get super blown out and I don't even have Titan mana. So I don't think it's worth doing yet. It's only worth doing once I have access to more information, right? Once I have I know that I have a bounce land in hand, or I know that I'm drawing a Titan or whatever. That's when I know better. I can make a decision with more information. You see, for example, I would have gone for the explosives, but I wouldn't have been able to crack it. So I would have actually wasted a card, and an important one in Tulare West. Actually, England is good here because I can. God damn it! God damn it! This is so annoying. This is so annoying. Because I was gonna say I can transmit for Valakut, but now I can't even. This is so absurdly frustrating. One land, you see? Transmit for Valakut, gain one land, blow up Karn. But now I can't even do that because Liquid Metal Clothing is gonna get ahead of me. Oh, they just drew the natural Tron. I mean, you need to be a Laxac in order to play Eldrazi Tron because it's the only way that you can win with this deck. If you're not a Laxac and you're just like a normal person, you can't really win. Also, note how relevant it would have been for me to be able to attack the Karn, thanks to, if these were scouts instead of grazers. Prime time. Uno, dos. I mean, we're still kind of in this game. This is the turn. I need my opponent to not have another Thought-Knot Seer and to not answer my Dryad. Or I need to top deck Arazusa off the top. If they kill the Dryad, or that also counts. Okay, so now we're dead. Yep. Now we can't win anymore because he's gonna destroy lands faster than I can make land drops. So Chalice did a lot of work there. This not being scout literally just lost me this game. Otherwise, I would have been able to clear the Karn. My opponent top deck into the natural Tron and the natural Blast Zone is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, we can't win anymore. All right. Feels bad, man. I felt very favored right there. I just needed to not whiff. But I did. Fuck Tron. Fuck Gracer, actually. Get that out of here. Time to drop League and re-up with Scout. No, we're probably not gonna be doing that. Leagues today have been rough. That's a way to put it. Okay, yeah, we keep this. Alright, so we can Breeding Pool on 2. Explore. Which is nice. Turn to TKS. Must be nice, opponent. Must be really nice. What are my stream hours usually? Usually 11 a.m. PST. Turn to DKS, turn 3 Smasher. Okay. Alright, alright. Basic Forest. These members are starting to hurt. Once upon a time. Join every single dismember. This do have diminishing returns at some point, you know. Actually, I might have done a mistake right there. Tries for 0, that's fine. Reshaper. Think I can take 1 hit from this. Prime time, please. Please. Punished. All right. It's actually not horrendous. Alright, so something like this. We're gonna have it back to pay for here. So Stronghold Field. Did your opinions change about Valakut in your deck? Yeah, I mean that if I didn't think that it had potential, I wouldn't be playing it, right? It's pretty straightforward how that works. Going to attack. Yes. I think I'm gonna get another Field of Dead and another Radiant Fountain. Oh, I actually left myself dead to take. No, I did not. Never mind. No, we're good. We're good. We have 3 green sources to pay for Pact. So what changed? I played it in the matchups. I understood what are the matchups where it's good. Right? Because there's some matchups where it's good, and there's some matchups where it's not. And I saw it in action in the matchups that are where it's not good. And I saw it in action in the matchups where it is good. And I was able to draw my conclusions from there. Actually, maybe instead of the Radiant Fountain, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Huh. They should have definitely attacked. I was not gonna block, but they should have definitely attacked and like try to make me misplay, basically. And then they could draw towards like an Alistas or whatever. Yeah, so if we draw an Amulet, this is such. If we draw a Titan, this is a turn 4 Titan with Amulet and Dryad. which is probably going to kill my opponent under most circumstances. So, put him to 6. Oh, turn 3 Tron. Am I forced? That's actually not bad. This allows me to Dryad and Ghost Quarter. So out of all the not so good draws that I could have had there, that was definitely far up there. I had one of the best not so good draws. So my opponent tanking here makes me think that they actually have another Tron piece, so they're trying to figure out, like they already have another Ursa's Might in hand, so they were trying to like bait me into thinking something. I don't think I can allow them to have Tron here, so I think I'm going to go after the power plant. It could be wrong, but they found this off the Once Upon a Time, right? So you actually don't have any guarantees that my opponent doesn't have another one. They might very easily just have another one, but yeah, that's not good. Well, hopefully their play is a Thought-Knot Seer or something. It's a Giant Ballista, probably. Karn the Great Creator. Okay. Karn plus TKS. So that would be pretty brutal. It would be good also to like draw, actual cards. You could start top deck back and just start bowling Ulamog to death. Well, no, because Ulamog doesn't do anything, right? It's you can't destroy it. All right, so well. And you see why I like Tech Edge in a situation like this? Like, Tech Edge would be so much better than second Ghost Quarter, actually destroying my opponent's power plant. After you have used Ghost Quarter, Tech Edge is just so much better. Sure. Valakut would actually be a solid draw. Wow, main deck Mystic Forge? Or did they minus for it? No, they didn't minus for it. So they just have like Mystic Forge in the deck. Weird. At this point, I guess I'd rather draw Valakut than a Titan, honestly. Yeah, this just doesn't do anything because of the Torpor Orb. Man, this really sucks. I really hate when, yeah, when it goes like this. Think that I'm playing fine. I don't think I'm making any obnoxious mistakes or anything like that, and it's just like we get absurdly unlucky, like over and over again. Absurdly unlucky. This feels bad. I really wonder why you kept the hand. Because I have so many good draws, right? Valakut is a great draw. Even more Dryads are reasonable. I have Obstinate Baloth in my deck. I have Primeval Titan. Tectonic Edge also does it. And like the only piece of interaction that I had, which was 100% random, right? Like I had no previous information about which land to destroy, and my opponent had exactly the land that I destroyed. Like I had interaction, I had a quick clock. If I ever drew a Primeval Titan, which I'm playing 10 copies, no, yeah, 8 copies of, I'm golden. If I draw a field, I'm in a really good spot. If I draw a Valakut, I'm in a very good spot. If I draw Once Upon a Time, I'm in a really good spot. I have a ton of good draws. I still believe that this hand was a keep. It's just we hit just like the bottom of variance, right? Yeah, okay, I'm done. And you see what my opponent's draw was, right? Like natural Tron into another Tron into Karn, Ugin, Mystic Forge, Karn Liberated, Reality Smasher, right? So like clearly there was a discrepancy in the how can I say it? In the my opponent's draw was in the top end of a draw for their deck, and mine was just like any of this one is a good draw. Any of this is a good draw. I brought it Beast Within. Beast Within would have been a good draw too. Obstinate Bailout would have been a good draw. Tech Edge would have been a good draw. Pax would have been a good draw. Field of the Dead, or any of my 4 Once Upon a Times. So I did have a lot of good draws. I still believe that hand was a keep. It's just like we ended up hitting the really, really, really low end of the spectrum in terms of variance. So yeah, so I still think you should always keep a hand like the one I kept. I also think that you should not allow a match like that, and you should not make decisions based on a match like that. It's just a matter of percentages, right? I think that at that point I have a ton of good draws, and that's what we're drawing towards, right? Like I have my mana all set up for me, my colors are perfect, my amount of lands is great, and even to the point that I had enough lands where Balakut actually becomes a reasonable draw. So could have bombed the tower though, yeah, exactly, but I explained why I bombed the other one. Like again, that is a results oriented thinking, and that's what you don't want to get caught up with. You want to make sure that your decisions are made based on like actual facts instead of making your decisions based on like making your decisions in hindsight, because making your decisions in hindsight is not going to really help you. You have to analyze the decisions when is the time to make it with the information that you have, and I think this is not going to be good enough. This is better. We need to find the bounce on basically. Keep small. So I feel like I keep those hands sometimes and I get fucked, and then the next time I see it pitched because of recent bias. Yeah, exactly. So you have to make sure that when you're making your decisions, you make your decisions based on um sweet that you make your decisions because they are the correct decision, right? That you don't use confirmation bias or the opposite, which is making your decisions based or making your decisions based on looking behind. What the hell am I playing against? Um, we actually might be playing against the control deck here with the card that destroys based on my things in your graveyard. Alright, looks like we're not. No, I mean, if it were Death Shadow, why are they targeting me with the Thought Scour, right? If they were on GDS, you see, they're on Grixis control. So I realized that I was muted. What I was saying is I don't want to just like jam and tighten into my opponent's open mana. There's no reason for me to do it. So I just want to basically make my land drops, do my thing, eventually start triggering Field of the Dead, and take it from there. Eventually, I'm going to be able to transmit for a cavern, or just my opponent will tap out, and I will be able to punish them. So it's just a matter of time. Even if I do find a cavern, I'm not going to cast this turn, so there's no need for me to once upon a time right now. And if my opponent doesn't do anything, they're going to slowly but surely start losing to this Field of the Dead anyway, so... Torrential Gearhulk, Flashback Thought Scour. Classic. Feels bad, man. Sweet. Got Vesuva there because I can copy my field eventually. Or I can copy my opponent's land. I already have Titan mana, so... I'm gonna need to draw... I need to draw this cavern rather quickly because this Gearhulk is gonna clock me very, very fast. Probably push my Sombo. Makes sense. That also quickens the clock. Explore. Spell Snare. Second field gone. This kind of matchup is kind of brutal because they have a Mordigo, and a Mordigo coming out of their deck is actually pretty great. I might even die just right here. If my opponent has a Bold, I just die. Alright. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9. Of course, I'm going for this first because it allows me, like, it forces my opponent to interact, but it allows me to do this with much less mana. Float mana. Oh, crap. Oh, wait, I have lethal, right? Spectre Azusa? I think I have lethal. My opponent doesn't have a bolt, otherwise I would be dead. Bounce. Cast prime time. Yes. Garrison. Stronghold. Bounce. Replay. Feels real good to win this one. And this is why you go on Sunhome and Boris Garrison in your deck instead of Handwear Battlements. Yeah, I mean, I think I played this game correctly, right? And my opponent would have killed me with a lightning bolt or something like that. And I was able to like navigate in such a way that I could play around it, right? So I just think it was a reasonably played game. I wonder if I should bring in a Reclamation Sage. I guess that it does kill Gearhulk, so I can play around Blood Moon, and it also kills Gearhulk, which is just hilarious. That's really... Oh, Ashiok, yeah, that's right. That's right, Ashiok is a card that just beats me straight up, so... Hey, Jose, how's it going? This is the third league, actually. Actually, I don't like the Valakut plan in this matchup. Like, I'm gonna leave in the one Valakut, but I don't think it's a good plan. We literally just saw how much counter magic and stuff my opponent has. This is good. No, it wasn't great. No, this one also didn't start too hot either. So my opponent's deck played Mana Leak. Going to assume that they do not play Mana Leak, but they do play Fatal Push, so I'm just going to hit my land drops here. Again, we're having not the best stream, but I'm having fun nonetheless. It's just some of the matches have been a little bit frustrating, to put it lightly. But yeah, I'm not sure that this list that I'm playing is incredible or anything. I'm just just playing my matches basically. It's not about the games we lose, but the ashes we had to meet along the way. That's exactly what it is about. That is exactly what it is about. Just jam. Holding up a Susa to discard if I need to, a K command or something. Scour me. Ugh, that cavern would have been so nice. Even that forest would have been nice. Just to guarantee Titan mana next turn at least. Ashiok. Destroy artifact. 2 damage to the Dryad. We're gonna bolt the Dryad too. We're gonna bolt the Dryad. Alright, that's good. No! 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 I wanted to transmute for a Cavern. Play the Cavern as my land for turn, then play Azusa off that, and I misclicked. You know when you just know that today is just not your day? Sometimes you just have to, I guess, just accept the fact that it's not gonna happen, right? Like today is just not my day, and it's not gonna get better. Still tinted right? Oh, you saw this one. I'm definitely not sold. Very, very much not sold on the whole Dryad thing. Very, very much not sold. We get to reset Gemstone for value. It's nice. This allows me to get double field. Sure. Now any draw for bounce land is just stellar. Spiking up my deck for FNM with Dryad and currently disleaving it, going back to 30 lines Explorer and Azusa. Scour me? Oh no, my Balog is gone. You know which card would be like the nuts right now? Ramming up Excavator. Double decking Excavator would be insane right now. Alright, got it 2-1 OP. Let's go. I got it 2-1. To Mystifying Dryad, eh? Get in there, Sage. Get in there. Will Hall X with the raid with a party of 17. Welcome everybody from Will's stream. We're playing some Amulet right here. Testing out this new Dryad discard builds. Not entirely sold on the whole situation just yet. Opponent with mismatching bolts too. Gross. Block step is past now though. One, two, three, four, five. Ojuku Bog. Sure. Seems better than the other ones. EC Cuter Crusher, thank you for the follow. This might come back to bite me, but I think I actually want to play the bog and bog my opponent. Falash's dog, thank you for the follow. Hope you're doing good. Hope you have a good one. Thank you. Hope you had a good one too. I think I'm actually gonna bog my opponent here. If I bog myself, I'm making a lot of my draws a lot worse. Because right now, like, ramming up is a very good draw for me. And if I bog myself, it's not anymore. One just concedes, they can't beat the field. Classic Grixis control. Classic Grixis control. Alright, this is the list that we're working with today. We're making some changes as soon as this is the third league that we're playing today. So yeah. The drop pack you get, yeah, exactly. Fortunately, Field of the Dead is an unreasonable magic card against that kind of deck, so can I find an opponent? Please? Anybody want to play with me? There we go. Dan Francisco with the subscription. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. 11 months. Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you for the 2 months up. Now this one is a real sketcher. No, this missing too much. I have a 3 draw step to draw one of my 30 lands. I guess 28 lands. I actually need more than that even. Yeah, I think I have to ship this. Definitely tempting, but this is much, much better. Still not great, but definitely this is much closer to a keep. We already have Titan meta. Have a way to ram, we have a way to stall. I would prefer keeping Summerbloom banned than a banned, but not having Field of Dead on once upon a time. Yeah, I disagree wholeheartedly. Sure. I guess I'm gonna go with the Dryad here. I disagree wholeheartedly. If we had access to Summerbloom, we would be the just the best deck in the format, bar none. With the current configuration, like, there's a talk about it, but if we had Summerbloom, it would just not be close. All right. All right. So no, not looking particularly good with these draws here. I might be getting comboed out as early as next turn. Melira here? No. This is not a combo with Finks, right? Or is it? No, this one is not a combo with this one. Alright, cool. Play a land. play... I guess it's better for me to play out the Dryad here, actually. Because it makes it Titan off the top that much better. Because I can get Valakut and start machine gunning. Crypt Champion incoming. I don't even know what that does. Honestly, I always like get so baffled by this combo decks. Like, I have no idea. Maybe there's a combo here. I don't know. I know that if I let them untap with Viscera Seer and they play Kitchen Fix, I just die. So Titan, please. All right, so we are just dead. Yeah, we're just dead. Yeah, we're just dead. Feels bad, man. It really feels bad. I had 8 looks at a Titan. Just didn't get anything. Safi is certainly interesting. So we want this. We want Beast Withins. Do we want Rex Sage? I don't think we want Rex Sage. Does Sage stop anything? Do they have like any, like one of these type creatures? Bog, I guess, does something. Field does not. Pact is just bad, but I guess I have to play it. We want these, we want these, we want these. Actually, I think I'm gonna bring it back the Explorers over the Gracers, just to draw me closer to my dismembers and stuff. And then probably the Cavern. I guess I'm just gonna take out the Field of Dead. Might have Damping Sphere. Yeah, I'm not worried about Damping Sphere from this kind of deck. I guess we keep this. Is this a 4 or none-off card? What do you think? Well, I mean, I'm not playing 4, so I'm precisely trying to test that out. In the past, I have always played 4 copies because I think that is extremely important, but this version of the deck is a little bit less focused on trying to amulet ASAP, right? Wish I could sub to my favorite streamer, but sadly I'm too poor. Keep making the great content. Maybe one day I'll sub. Thank you so much, Chief. Like the only thing that keeps me going is the fact that maybe, just maybe, someday Chief is gonna sub to the stream. Thanks, Chief, for all you do. Thanks for all you mean. Thanks for all you are. Have your feelings for Dryad changed? No. I think that there's something there, but I'm still not sold that it's better than just regular Amulet. So I guess a yes and no is what you could say. So there's no way I can get comboed out here, so this is gonna be the turn that I just put down on Azusa. Can we throw in Bowsland, please, and thank you? Please, can we just throw a Bowsland? Spike Feeder. Take 2. Bowsland. So this has been the entire day today. This situation that we're seeing right now, all day. All day today. Drives good with development. Yeah, it's good if you already have if you already have a basic forest, which you're not guaranteed to have. In fact, we lost today to a Blood Moon with a Dryad in our hand that we could not cast. So clearly, good against Blood Moon is not a way that I would describe it. Hence the Pepega. Pepega Scapa. This is getting too hard, man. So we take 5. I can Beast within my own Azusa, make a 3/3 block, and kill one of my opponents. I think I'm gonna do that. Just to stop the beats. And I'm still holding up Dismember. Probably as soon as I guess, yeah, I guess if I draw a land, I can EE on 2 and blow up everything. Ha, they never saw the Beast Within coming. Got him. Alright. Give me a land. Any freaking land. God damn it. Alright. Yeah, I'm not interested in playing out the bounce land. I need to hold it in my hand. Well, I guess I could have played it and paid. Yeah, you guys are right. You guys are right. All right. Should I play around Path to Exile? I don't think I'm gonna. Because I could get double bounce land, and that allows me to blow up the Void Druid. Make sure I don't die. Sweet. Alright, I'm getting double bounce land now. Bounce Valakut. Bounce Sanctuary. Now we get Dryad? No, we can't. We didn't have enough mana. So we're gonna do this. Now the question is, do I blow this up right now or do I play around Damping Sphere? This gives my opponent 2 more mana. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I play around Damping Sphere, but what do you think, chat? Should I crack right now, or should I let my opponent tap? I get back for Dryad post combat, yes, and then I have another pack to pay for and nothing to get from it, right? Like 1 trigger. And then if my opponent paths my if they top the game path, then I lose the game. Well, I guess I have the Dryad and I have a bunch of bounce lands, so yeah, maybe I don't lose the game. But that's 2 packs to pay for. I guess I think to the Dryad I could pay exactly for it. Do I crack or not? I kind of have to crack, right? And I just die to Dumping Sphere. Because I can, like, wait, right? And only crack after my opponent does something. An Offensa. Vizier. This is so good, right? I just don't care about all of this. In fact, that means that my opponent cannot kill me now with. Yeah, this now we know for a fact that we can't lose. Sweet. Okay. Oof, that was a close one. That was a close one for sure. Now that my opponent only has a forest here, now we just lethal them with Valakut. Dismember maybe? But that's actually okay with me? I guess my opponent was just like trying to get some free damage there. Hilarious how basically within my own my own Azusa was the correct line there. That's really funny. Alright, let's do this again. I don't think it's 10 out of 10 crack. Because I can always do stuff in response, right? Like in response to the Vizier, I can crack. In response to the something, I can crack. And that gives me more information about their hand. What I cannot do is I cannot allow my opponent to just have all the mana, because if they do that, then I can't respond to a Ballista, right? After they have literally mana. Yeah, this is a hand I have to keep. Opponent moves to 6. The list does play company. Yeah, but I'm not forced to crack, right? Until my opponent does anything, I don't need to do anything, right? So it's like one of those whoever blinks first. So I really need to draw like a Dismember or something like that. Wojugi Bog, not it. And I think I need to grab the Simic Growth over the Azusa there. Unfortunately, I would really like to have access to some Azusas, but so I guess Dryad would be the best draw here. No, Dryad wouldn't help me really. Right, we might just be dead. Dismember. Yep. If we untap, we're gonna win, but I don't think we're gonna get to untap. He does stuff instead of just normal devoted druid combo. I mean, I think that both of them are gonna be terrible matchups for us. Why not bounce land to cast Once Upon a Time? Because then I'm gonna be forced to get a bounce land of the Once Upon a Time, because otherwise I don't have Titan mana for next turn. Right? So I'm casting this Once Upon a Time, but that forces me to actually. It's a forced play for me to find the bounce land of the Once Upon a Time, otherwise I don't have Titan mana for next turn. So going for the Once Upon a Time there, it's like it doesn't achieve anything, right? Yep. That's just a bad matchup. That's just a bad matchup. We need to find like a Dismember, or I guess Explosives wouldn't have done it, so it had to be Dismember. Beast Within would have done it though. So we needed one of those effects, and just didn't get there. Yeah, Chief, that's what I'm here for. To help you see the good lines. Look at these good lines right here. Do you think those are good lines? I think this is like the first time I've had like an evolve 5 or 4 or 5 hand in 7 in the past 3 leagues. This is by far like the best hand I've had in a really long time this stream. There you go, Rancid Flesh. Check out the deck list there. Turn 3 Titan on the play. This deck has obvious lines. Nice. I mean, they're obvious to some people. They are somewhat obvious to me, which is something that I, even when I'm streaming, I think that I'm decent at explaining my lines and everything, but sometimes, like, they might be stuff that I consider that I just glance over really quickly because I consider it to be pretty obvious to me, and it might not be obvious to everybody. So if they go just the 6/4, if they go scale up, I think I'm gonna be forced to block, unfortunately, unless they don't play a land, obviously. Which honestly kind of sucks. Here, I don't think I block. We might die here, but that's fine. Like, the only way that we die is to like a bunch of things. The Blighted Agent here would be kind of brutal though. Would be pretty hard to beat. Yep. Kind of sucks. Can we trigger Valakut somehow here? We can still use Pact to trigger. We can still use Pact to Pact for Azusa. So, Pact for Azusa. Cast Azusa. 1 land drop. Play Castle. Play Fountain. That's 1, 2, 3. Basically, I'm trying to make sure that I have enough lands in play at the end of this turn so I can trigger Valakut to kill both of my opponent's dudes. So Azusa, using my first land drop. Then I have a second land drop from the Dryad. That's going to be this again. Then I have another one and another one from the Azusa. That means that I'm gonna get to trigger double Valakut. That sounds right to me, right? Is that correct? I'm trying to see if I'm missing something. I think that my math is correct. 1, 2, and here. Then we bounce. Then we pact for Asusa. We cast Asusa. We play this. This is 1. And this. 1, 2, tap for green, tap for 1, activate castle. Bounce this land, whatever. Play prime time, yes. Boros Garrison, Slayer Stronghold. Haste here. Bounce here. Go to combat, attack. And I guess I play around. The only way I lose here is to double mutagenic growth, so we can just play around double mutagenic growth by doing this. This, and this. Yes. Yes. Sweet. And it is for a new title player and MTGO. Always click the lands first. Take your time is number 1. Take your time is number 1 for sure. Like make sure that you're clicking properly. I'm even guilty of this myself. Sometimes I just click a little bit too quickly and I misclicked and I get punished handsomely. So you want to make sure that you take your time and you think through your not only think through your lines. That's hard to say. But also make sure that you are doing things in the proper order and everything. Learn from my mistakes. How about a new title player in general? Check out this video. That's step number 1. I made that video precisely so people that wanted to start playing the archetype had access to a resource that that they can check out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, Pikes, but it wasn't really about counting the mana only, right? I'm also trying to maximize like the amount of lands that I have left. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm trying to maximize the amount of lands that I have in play, basically, because I want to trigger the Amulakut. So Double Dismember is really, really tempting, honestly. I think I'm actually going to keep this hand, just based on the strength of having access to 2 Dismembers. Did you make a command yet for people asking in here? It's a new type. No, but I made a streamer. This streamer command, which I've been using a lot. How you been satisfied with the arboreal lasers? Literally what I just wrote over there. Now for real though, Gracer has been medium. It's mostly kind of like a Mitigan Call kind of deal. Like for example, in this matchup, Gracer is significantly better than just the other thing, the Scout. But then, yeah, that's brutal. Actually, I was thinking that I might be dismembering the Noble Hierarch. Maybe I should have, honestly. Should have totally dismembered the Noble Hierarch. Try to go with the list without Dryads and Valakuts first. Yeah, probably. Man, not dismembering that Noble Hierarch. Ended up biting me in the ass pretty hard here. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Never mind. We're good. Please stop the Ink Moth. My opponent says John in the chat. Another Hierarch. You got it. Really would have wanted to find the land there. Do I want to play around Pierce? I think I'm just going to play the Azusa here because it hides the Force of Vigor that much better, and my opponent's more likely to go for it. I mean, that's the reason why it's here, right? It's because it hits Ink Moth. It's literally like the only thing it hits, so... Just noticed, but did you remove stream delay? Chat seems like it's popping up on stream quicker than before. No, it's mostly I never had delay. It's just a matter of like how good or bad my internet is feeling that day. Should I force right now? I guess I don't. Better lucky than good, etc, etc, etc. I'm gonna get Ghost Squatter, bounce land, or play Ghost Squatter. No, I'm not gonna go for Valakut here. Because my opponent can still, like, I can only kill 2 things. I guess I can kill all 3 things, but my opponent can go, like, land, grow the Ink Moth, kill me. Seems less likely for me to die. Well, I guess I have the Force in hand. The problem is that if my opponent nature claims the Dryad of Elysian grow in response, which seems like it's what's about to happen. Wait, what? Okay. So I use 1 land drop, I have 3 remaining. That would be 9 damage plus 2 that I'm getting right now. That's lethal? Is that true? They're tapped out, so I don't need to play around anything. And then, like, Valakut plus Semi-Growth Chamber just kills them, right? 1, 2, then bounce land. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. No, Vesua plus Amulakut is not a line. You cannot, first of all, you cannot copy the land that it comes into play with, and also I don't have another bounce land, right? So I cannot copy a bounce land, so because I cannot copy a bounce land. Yeah, nice X rules and over hierarch. That's funny. I mean, to be fair, we were not losing the game, right? I already explained the line that I was going for. Also, we still have Force in our hands, so like this Inkmoth was not gonna get us. What won this game wasn't this, right? It was this. The fact that we drew two dismembers was the only reason why we won that game. So it is certainly the fact that it looked impressive, right? Like that's just a fact. It just looked good right there for obvious reasons. But that doesn't necessarily mean that like we were winning that game regardless. So it's like it's the same situation that we've seen in the past where um you don't want to get too results oriented with how you do it. And yeah, this is a mulligan. It's too slow. Much better. I'm probably shipping this forest. It has to be the forest, right? And I'm trying to delay this playing out this Borders Garrison for as long as I can. Why not put the Garrison back? Because I already have Titan mana thanks to the Garrison, right? I guess one off Titan mana. I already have double green. Like if I put back the Garrison, then I need any land. And if I don't put back the Garrison, then I still need any land. The difference is that we get to gain 4 life because of the Garrison. And I'm not going to assume that my opponent is playing the Blood Moon game in game 1. Do you think mulligan is the hardest thing about playing Titan? It is high up there. I do think it's high up there. Sequencing is pretty hard to. I think they're. I mean, that is kind of like the quote unquote problem with the deck, right? Like that's why people shy away from it, is because it is like it takes a second. It takes a lot of practice because before it actually becomes a little bit more intuitive. Oh, okay, so anything that we did didn't matter. Everything we just thought about and talked about is just irrelevant because we're playing against Neobrand. So we got the opposite of a buy. What is the opposite of a buy? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now Gracer makes it so I have theoretically Titan mana this coming turn. So I'm going to do this. If we top deck a Titan, we can actually cast it. Yeah, we are the buy. Yeah, that's what I meant. What is the easiest matchup for a Titan? Probably Boggles. Yeah, Boggles. Some like mid-rangey decks are usually like the best, like the thing that we play on the hardest. Then Infect is then a Merfolk is also very good for us. Okay, so we're dead. I mean, the good thing is that Neoform allows for some great play patterns where we just get to sit here and do nothing for long periods of time before my opponent actually kills me. So all right, real question: what do I transmute for? I think I transmute for Blue Pact. Is that crazy? I mean, I'm of course getting packed, monkey. Like, which packed is the question. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that we get Pact of Negation. And then we're still on the hunt to try to get to try to find a Primeval Titan, but we are like way more likely to find a Prime Time than our one-off Pact of Negation. And then the sexy beats start coming. You packed the Neoform? Yes, you packed the Neoform. If my opponent's playing Mendic Veils and they give the Veil hand, then we get wrecked. Two cards on the bottom. Guess that's a good sign. Maybe that's a good sign. From with 60 beats, I knew it was a great musician. Oh yeah, you know that. You know that. Is Soul Sisters even a deck anymore, George? Is Soul Sisters even a deck? It's Heliod. I think I'm actually gonna. Let me think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so yeah, it's better for me if I draw another Tolaria West. I can actually make enough mana to transmute and get a Titan on the same turn. So it's better for me to do this. The very first round I played Modern ever, I played Burn, a good match against Soul Sister. That's hilarious. I imagine that went pretty well for you, huh? Yeah, these are actually mining counters, which is funny. I wonder if there's any other card in the game that has mining counters. This one I'm gonna hold in hand just in case I draw Amulakut. Alright, that's one less Grixis draw right there. Wait, is Soul Sisters different than Martyr Proc? I assume they were the same deck. They only play one basic, right? I guess we're gonna figure it out soon enough. Yes, they do. Sweet. Value. My opponent's just playing a 4/4 to like prevent. But now if we draw Amulakut, like we legit just win the game, right? There we go. Always yes, always yield. I think it's important for me to kill the Allosaurus Rider to make sure that my opponent, because it's not for sure that I'm gonna win here, right? My opponent can gain a 15 life and instant speed, so I'm not sure that I'm gonna set up lethal. So I think it's important for me to clear the dino. Before I do anything else. Now this is probably enough. Casually winning the game on turn 8. See, it could have gained life and instant speed. It's probably going to be too much damage though. That was interesting to an extent. Just bringing in these lands just because they enter the battlefield untapped as opposed to tapped. I guess let's bring in a couple of Beast Within. I'm probably not going to be great. Alright. For the 3-2 against the memeiest of decks. Bring it on. Bring it on, Neobrand. I don't have another dinosaur mode, but when we talk about dinosaurs here, this is the dinosaur that we have. It's not a great dinosaur. It's not a good dinosaur either. It's just a terrible dinosaur, but it is our dinosaur. Not even a reasonable dinosaur, but it is our dinosaur. So we're on the draw. Put him also 6. I think I have to keep. Probably not getting much better than this for us. Are you going to change some pictures to now approve Amulakut? Not necessarily. Because I still don't know whether I approve Amulakut or not. Amulakut, go. Turn 2, I'm going to Vesua my opponent's Grove, and then I'm going to pass. We might not get another turn, though. Yep, we're not getting another turn. Cool. Is Neoform or Mill a worse matchup? Mill. How does it that I can look away from the monitor? Here you mentioned a dino, and I know you're talking about Sakama. Yeah, it's bad. We got a reasonable hand, we just didn't get a turn 2. Because this deck is somehow allowed to exist in the format. Just the from good thing Wizards took care of the unfun cards so we can play these games instead. Exactly. Exactly. This is the perfect example of why something is an Amulet. Precisely. Would running a Gage Shuffle make the difference against Mill? No, it wouldn't. I mean, probably, but like, why? Mill is like less than 1% of the metagame. Like, why would you ever want to like put a card in your sideboard that's only useful in against that matchup? January 19, 2019. Never forget. I think they just search jiggle it anyway. Yeah, it depends on how like late it was done, basically. Imagine they chip it and tap force that has the Gaia's Blessing clause. Yeah, that'd be cool. Cool. Nothing that we did mattered. And we lost the game after playing one land and one spell. But sure, ban Micahs and Lattice because that one is the problem. Ban Micahs and Lattice because it's too powerful for Modern. Yeah, this is just not good enough. My interaction is exactly negate. Can I mulligan to negate? Because this hand is good, right? Like, this hand is reasonable. Do I just need to mulligan this just because I can't win? Where am I not random dispute? Think about the decks in the format and then think about how many of them dispute is better than negate. Do I want to metagame against like Ursa and Ashiok decks, control decks, or do I want to metagame against Tron, Scape Shift? It's a choice. No, they went down to 6. To have Farmer Emily is not the furthest deck either. I had many opponents on Moto tilting because of the SR lines that they can deliver and being really frustrated about not being able to interact properly. I mean, Ashiok, right? There's a card like Ashiok, which is really hard to beat for us. I think I have to ship it. But this is the problem, right? Like, where do I draw the line? Which medium hand am I keeping? Like, am I going down to 4? Can I win on 4 cards? I don't think I can win on 4 cards. I just don't think I can. So I just have to keep this. I have to bottom a Gracer and I guess a basic forest. I think I'm just gonna bottom both Gracers actually. And try to transmute these for a Pact of Negation and I don't know, like try to go from there. They go down to 4. I mean, we do have a plan, right? But how much can we hope that we go down to? Danielle Talk Thai, thank you so much for the 800-bit donation. I really, really appreciate it. This is almost like my game against Neoform, where I won a semi-long game 1. The only played 2 lands in other 2 games. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start here. All right, Semi-Growth Chamber. You see? Like, I would have mulliganed to negate, and it wouldn't have mattered, because I died on turn 1. Fuck this, man. Like, I fucking hate it so much. Like, ugh. I just cannot fathom that it's allowed to exist in the format. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Well, whatever. Worst leagues we played in a really, really long time, but yeah, I don't know. Bottom line, not sold on this. It looked impressive sometimes, it looked terrible other times. This card specifically, I have not. It does enable from some very, really cool plays, but I honestly don't think it's necessarily better than just like doing the primetime thing and just doing that better, right? So probably like the next time that I stream Amulet, I'm probably gonna go with something like this, not so Valakut, and just try to go with something a little bit more straightforward and more, yeah, more just like straight up. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I still think that it's worth exploring, right? Like today, I just mess around with the number of Asusas, I mess around with the number of Explorers and that kind of stuff. Grazer versus Scout. Grazer honestly felt better than Scout in this specific list. So that is certainly something that it's good to know, right? It's good to know that in this list, Grazer just felt a little bit more. Like it was more concordant with the plan that we're trying to pull off. Playing up from once, I understand why it's allowed to. Yeah, exactly, Chief. But that's the problem, and that is my problem. Yeah, like the whole loses to itself or it's not good enough. It doesn't. It just doesn't resonate with me, and it doesn't make sense with me because it's just like if that's the case, then you the player are just having a bad time playing with your deck, right? Like you are just like the play patterns are just miserable. Whether you're playing against it or you're playing it, nobody wins, right? So that is what upsets me the most. Turn 2 Amulet should also be banned. Yeah, but the difference is that Turn 2 Amulet happens, and I say this, I've been streaming for a year and a half, and I think I have a Turn 2 kill like 25 times or 26 times in a year and a half. Like, yeah, I mean, whatever. Also, you get stopped by a single Ghost Quarter, you get stopped by Spell Pierce, you get stopped by Lightning Bolt, you get stopped by Dismember, Path to Exile, what else? It's way easier to interact with. Like, Amulet's power, it's not from being able to kill you on turn 2. It can do that, but that's not where the power lies. The power is that it's flexible. Like you can pivot and you can do different things. Neobrand, it's just like it's a deck that just kills you on turn 1. It kills you, first of all, it kills you on turn 1 way more than it should be allowed to, right? Like we just got killed on turn 2 on turn 1 when my opponent mulliganed to 5 and 4, and they still killed me on turn 1 and 2. The other way around, a Multufala killed me on turn 2, and they moved to 4 and killed me on turn 1. I've had the Crucible decks kill on turn 3 even 3 pass. Yeah, exactly. Even if you don't die, you very often just like are facing a Grixis brand, right? Like you path the Grixis brand, your opponent still has like a hand with like 14 cards. My opponent mulled to 5 and killed me on turn 1. Mulled to 4, sorry. Mulled to 4 on the draw and killed me on turn 1. But yeah, anyway. Going back to this list. 4 Gracers have felt better than Scout. So that is definitely one of the things that I found out during the stream. Castle is great. I don't think I want to go any lower than 3 castles. Kind of also wanted to add a 4th copy as well. 2 Valakut felt okay. Honestly, it rarely mattered for me to have the second Valakut because of Vesuva, so I could always Vesuva my first Valakut anyway. So that means that maybe we just don't even need the second Valakut at the same. But the reason I think that we have the Valakut here is because there are some matchups where naturally drawing the Valakut with the Dryad is not terrible, and namely against stuff like Tron or something like that. So that is why having a second Valakut doesn't hurt us much. Still, it is by far the worst land in our deck, right? I tried Valakut in the sideboard in the list yesterday, and I didn't really like it. So I think that playing just like in the main deck just frees up more sideboard slots, and it's a little bit nicer. Colony Garden, I haven't felt the need for, so I probably will continue not playing it. It just doesn't feel as necessary. The main reason for wanting to play Colony is because of the aggro decks, and I think that just having access to the Radiant Fountain in the sideboard might be just better. I just think Neobrand is easy to beat. Titan has too much going for it, and the more cyber fight to get something taken from it. Yeah, it's not about whether it's easy to beat. You're missing the point, Chief. I don't care whether it's easy to beat or not. I don't care if it wins entire events or it doesn't, or it can't win. It's not. That's not why I want it banned. They literally just banned Mycosynth Lattice because it was an unfun card, not because of a power level issue. But Neobrand is still allowed to exist. So that's what I'm saying. My point is, if you want to, Beijing, I wish this fan culture would stop. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's not a matter of. Basically, I think that is the only problem with the format right now. Literally, the only problem with Modern right now is the fact that Neobrand is allowed to exist. Everything else, the format's perfect. It's diverse. You can play like we've been playing. I played 3 leagues today, and I think I repeated decks once or twice. Like it's extremely diverse. There's a lot of different play patterns that you can enable. There's a lot of ways to build your decks, right? So I think that Modern it's almost perfect right now. And the only problem that it has, the only cancer that it has, is the fact that Neobrand is allowed to exist. It just creates this miserable play patterns, right? But anyway, I've ranted about Neobrand a little bit too much historically on this stream. Everybody knows that I despise it with my entire heart, and yeah. Anyway, so going back to Valakut, I think that this is 1 or 2 Valakuts is fine. I don't think I want any more than that under basically no circumstances ever. And I might want to trim down to 1 and just have 1 Valakut, 1 Vesuva, just trying to go a little bit less hard on the Dryads. Dryad has been reasonable at doing an Azusa impression, but I still think it's worse. Why did I like Gracer more than Scouts? Because in this list, guaranteeing the land drop actually seems better than the potential upside. Like this is by the way it's constructed, this is a worse Amulet deck, right? The power level of Amulet in this deck versus the power level of Amulet in this deck, the power level of Amulet here is significantly higher, right? So because this is much less of an Amulet deck, Gracer complements the plan of this deck more than it complements the plan of the other Amulet deck, right? It's the same reason why you play Gracer in the Blue-Green Titan decks and you don't play Scout, right? It's because this just goes a little bit better with the game plan of the Blue-Green Titan deck. Also playing D with the O3 body is pretty good as well. Was it made to having 3 lands you want to have 3 mana? Yeah, so I just explained that. Gracer is immediate upside, Scout is potential upside. Yeah, so it's like the classic matter of like how your higher floor, lower ceiling. The lower ceiling in Scout is obviously way lower, right? They just bolt it and you get no value. While the floor in Gracer is way higher. You at least got your value. Now the roof in Scout, the ceiling in Scout is insane, right? Like it allows you to play Lance and instant speed. It allows you to activate the ability multiple times in a single game. It by itself gives you turn 3 Titan thanks to Castle Garenbrig. So they're like the ceiling in Scout is significantly higher than it is in Gracer. But it's just like a matter of being more cohesive. That's the word I'm looking for. Being more cohesive with the deck's game plan. And because of how I'm building this version of the deck, I think that Gracer is more cohesive with this version of the deck's plan, and Scout is more cohesive with the other version of the deck, which is here. Yeah. I hope that makes sense. Mana Traders 2-3. What happened? Neobrand is allowed to exist in the format. That's what happened, Mana Traders. The big thing is everything is contextual. Exactly. So this deck is way better suited at doing amulet things and maximizing on amulet, and that's why Scout is significantly better in this version of the deck than it is in the other version of the deck, and vice versa, right? This deck is better. Played with Neobrand. Yeah, we just died on turn 2 on turn 1 before we were able to play a spell. But but Mycos in Lattice wasn't fun, So instead we have Neobrand. I think Neobrand is fine. The format I think once needs to go. Yeah, we can agree to disagree. I explained my points, and I think my arguments are solid, and you clearly have a different mindset, and that's perfectly okay. We just agree to disagree. I think the Neobrand needs to go. Once Upon a Time can go as well. I wouldn't mind, honestly. Lattice actually made Tron too good. I disagree. I think Tron was very, very beatable. Did you have a list with just 2 Dryads and 1 Valakut? I think that if you're not going with 4 Dryads, then the Valakut becomes significantly worse. So, yeah, I think that if you want to do the Dryad thing, you probably have to go with all 4, or at least 3 of them. Turn 2 TKS. Yeah. I mean, we faced turn 2 TKS today, but like, if your opponent is going turn 2 TKS, then Lattice is gonna be irrelevant, right? Because like your opponent is gonna be like ridiculously far away from even casting a card, because they have two Eldrazi temples in play. Yeah, there is a reason that still like, I mean, it's a solid deck, right? I'm not denying the fact that it's a solid deck. I'm saying that Lattice was not the difference between the deck being too good and it being okay. I think that with Lattice, it would still just be one of the best deck in the formats like it is right now, but it would be just fine. I don't think that Lattice created such a large delta in power level, right? Do you think that this version of Amulets? Short answer, Sam, is no. I don't think it's better. It's a different way of building it. It has higher upside, and this is the thing that this version has is that it's way less explored, right? It's like the other versions of Amulet are kind of like this version is way more tuned, in my opinion, at doing its thing that this like Balakut version. So that is the difference basically. But I think that this is just a better Amulet deck, and the other one is just like an Amulet deck that has a different angle of attack. And it's honestly, it's not. I'm not sold that this is the best way to build this deck. Where is it? In fact, I think it's pretty possible. In fact, it's probably very, very, very likely that this deck should not be built this way, and that the proper way to build this deck would be to cut all the amulets, just straight up cut all of them, and just become just like cut this, probably add more fields and more just like base this list off of the Simic Titan field decks instead of basing it off of Amulet. I think that that's actually there's a very real possibility that that is the proper way of building this deck, and we should just not be bothering with Amulet to begin with. Do you think it would be easier to farm Pioneer than Modern? Pioneer is new and has everyone, and now Modern only has the diehard sharks and grinders. I disagree with that, Mana Traders. I think that a lot of people are diving into Modern right now because the format is in a great spot. I don't get me wrong. Like I think Modern is extremely fun right now. I think like all the decks are at a perfectly fine power level. We got paired against Ursa earlier today, and the deck looked very good. There's also plenty of space for exploration. We played against Blue Black Ursa earlier today, where Eldrazi just completely destroyed me with his take on Ursa, which was super interesting and actually super cool. I might just like message him on Twitter or something and be like, "Yo, can you hook me up with a list so I can stream it myself?" Because that list actually looked very good. So there's a lot of space for exploration. The bannings made all the decks like Oko going. It definitely helped the format immensely. And yeah, Pioneer is just like I don't know. Honestly, I have not figured out a deck in Pioneer. I mean, Master. So if you went to 3, sometimes I'd be wrong. I mean, Mana Traders, it's magic, right? John Finkel goes 0-3 drops at event all the time. Like, I mean, not all the time, probably, but it does happen, right? So, yeah, I don't know. If you are basing your your value of the format in me going 2-3 in a league, I mean, I went 14-1 2 days ago, or like 6 days ago, or sorry. So it's just like it's variance, right? I'm left holding my Ursa pieces with my pants down, looking to do something with it. Yeah, I think that Ursa is still pretty cool. We played against like the Thopter sword version of Ursa earlier today. We played against it twice actually, and like this, I think this version of the deck was super cool. I think that this version of the deck is actually super cool, and I might play some of this in the future because honestly, I really enjoy this deck. When Mox Opal was still legal, I played this in on zero amount, and I think that it's very cool. It's just another toolboxy deck, right? It's just another toolboxy deck where you can find the right tool for the job, and then kind of like build your deck a million different ways, just like Amulet. So this style of deck obviously speaks to me. It speaks to me a lot. So I might be streaming some Ursa at some point. I remember passing me a golden engineer. Yeah, I still have it. I have 3 engineers in paper, and one of them is those. That is one of them. Um. Anyway, anything else I want to talk about? What beats Ursa? I mean, it's significantly hindered, right? Like Mox Opal was a big reason why the deck was so good. So right now it's just at a perfectly fine power level where it can compete with the rest of the format and still be like it can still be a reasonable deck, right? So yeah, if you want to eat Ursa, you have a bunch of options. Thalia is pretty good. Even cards like Dismember and like cheap counter magic. Like it's not so easy for Ursa to play around counter magic anymore because of the lack of Mox Opal. So their mana is a little bit more tight before the Ursa comes down. So if you can any card like Mystical Dispute that can prevent the Ursa from coming down in the first place, it's going to be a really tough for them to beat. Perfectly fine. What, you don't think Ursa is perfectly fine right now? Chief, have you been playing Modern or have you been playing Pioneer and just like registering Ursa in there? Because that would not be okay, but like this is perfectly fine. Five leagues day of Modern. Yeah, dude, but like, do you honestly think that Ursa is too powerful? in its current configuration, like in the current Ursa deck configurations that have been going around. Do you think it's too powerful? I don't know. We disagree. I've been beating it very consistently with amulets, and yeah, I mean, if you want to beat Ursa with Jaunt, for example, that's not gonna happen, right? So that's not gonna be a thing. So if you think that Ursa is too powerful for Jaunt, yes, I agree with that, obviously, but it's way harder now for this deck to go like. The problem with the Oko Ursa deck is like, first of all, that Oko came down on turn 2 very reliably, and second of all, Ursa also came down on turn 2/3 very reliably, which is not a thing anymore. And also, because of all the food running around from Oko and the Goose, it was very easy for the deck to play Ursa and then be holding up Cryptic Command immediately, right? So like Ursa was effectively free, and then when your opponent tapped, they had a million mana. That's just not a thing anymore. With Oko being gone and Mox Opal being gone, this deck's ability to, like, the amount of zeros that you play has gone down significantly, and it's like those zeros are worse. Squad was playing 5-color Niv. Damn. uh, to be fair, 5-color Niv is cool. I like 5-color Niv. The mid-range one is bonkers. Yeah, I still disagree, but again we can agree to disagree. I think that deck is way more beatable than it used to be, like by an absurd different. Yeah, I assume that he's talking about the one with Renan 6 and Uro and stuff. Which, yeah, I can see that deck being quite powerful, but like, I don't think it's busted. All right, give me a list and we can check it out, Chief. Do you have just Simic value? Yeah, just do you have like a goldfish link that we can check out? By the way, while we hang out, while we keep on hanging out here, I'm gonna close this YouTube video that's going down a little bit too long. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and if you made it all the way here, wow, mad respect. All right, I'll see you in the videos tomorrow. Have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Bye bye.